So, how does a man go from this to this? Today we're going to cover the story of Joji. I'm gonna butcher this, but George Kusunoki Miller, or probably more known as Joji, Filthy Frank, or Pink Guy, is a Japanese rapper, singer, and former YouTuber who was born in Osaka, Japan. Joji made his first come up into the spotlight with his alter ego Filthy Frank way back in 2011. If you're a fellow YouTube veteran like myself, then you're probably familiar with Filthy Frank's content from back then.
Excuse me, what's your name? Fuck you. You just got pranked, bro.
Filthy Frank was somewhat of an anti-vlogger, as he described himself, meaning instead of being one of these family-friendly vloggers like Logan Paul, for example, he did more stuff like this, and this. I think it's safe to say that this was some of the craziest and most memeable stuff back on the internet at the time. This was sort of like when memes felt like it was becoming a huge thing, and people really ran with it. The span of Filthy Frank lasted from 2011 all the way to 2017. So I mean, that is 6 whole years of doing things like this. Filthy Frank's outlandish personality really pushed the envelope for the meme-heavy community at the time. Just while I was making this video, I just wanted to check his social blade, thinking he's not uploaded for like 4 years, there's probably not much happening at all. And I was like, literally, what the f***? To this day, still getting almost 8 million views a month after 4 years of not uploading. This month is getting 20k subs, which is insane. And I mean, this is his estimated ad revenue for a channel which he doesn't even upload to anymore. Despite the huge spiral of views, Filthy Frank still tried to maintain a level of privacy. Ironically, in the video Filthy Frank exposed himself, George revealed that he was a student in Brooklyn, New York.
You guys don't realize I'm just a college student.
And this came as an instant regret to him. At the time, he didn't want to reveal any personal information, as he didn't think this would be a full-time job and it would ruin his future possible job opportunities. I mean, can you blame him? Imagine you going for like a business job and they type your name in and this comes up. In September of 2017, George announced the release of his first and only book, Francis of the Filth, and then shortly after, in December, he announced on Twitter that he will no longer be doing comedy, which sadly included Filthy Frank. The reason behind this being at the time he was battling a serious health condition, but additionally, and I think kind of another big one, was he just wasn't happy doing it anymore. If you are familiar with Filthy Frank's content, you're familiar with the songs he was making at the time, because some of them was crazy. With the well reception of some of these songs, George then created the even more meme-heavy Pink Guy. This is Pink Guy. Pink Guy was pretty much an evolution of Filthy Frank. It was very on brand for his previous work and stayed very true to his YouTube comedy. His first and only album under the name Peak Season actually debuted at number 70 on the Billboard 200. He had a lot of hood classics on there.
This is a certified hood classic.
STFU was definitely a highlight. Pink Guy gained huge popularity, much like his Filthy Frank channel, and he actually managed to perform live as Pink Guy. But this wasn't cutting it for George. This satire, funny, outlandish sound wasn't for him. He had bigger plans and he was about to execute them. Pink Guy was both an accumulation of Filthy Frank's character, but also, funny enough, the start of something new. Pink Guy lasted 3 whole years and ended at the same time that Filthy Frank did, but this was just the start of something bigger. 2015 was the birth of Joji as we know him now. Joji was the first time George wanted the audience to take him seriously, even describing Filthy Frank and Pink Guy as being characters, but the workers Joji being himself. The birth of Joji was actually in 2015, shortly after Pink Guy. First, George actually intended the music of Joji to be kept a secret. Basically, he didn't want anyone to know it was him. He was very shy about his music endeavors, and I don't think he was very confident as an artist back then, which... fair enough. At this time, everyone expected just comedy, and he didn't want to disappoint. The first 2 singles that were released was Thom and You Suck Charlie, which were released actually under a fake name, mainly so people wouldn't know it's him. This didn't last long, and somehow it got leaked that it was actually Joji behind these songs. With both of these songs now being out there with his face attached, he announced on Instagram that he's releasing his first official release, and this was Chloe Burbank. If you haven't listened to this and you're a Joji fan, you should definitely do it. With this album, you can definitely tell that he's still in his like infancy of sound. And even though I sort of think that he's like perfected his sound now, it doesn't take away from how raw some of the songs was on there. This album had a huge lo-fi feel. If he wasn't singing on them, you could literally put them on your lo-fi beats to chill and relax to playlist. This album was actually so well received that I think it sort of spurred him on to do it even more. In 2017, Joji released his album In Tongues. At the release of this album, I didn't actually listen to him for a while, and then once it came out and I listened to it, I was like, Oh shit, something's happening here. Also, a side note, it's actually crazy how many streams this album now has, and even more crazy that is somehow the 56th most streamed artist in the world. So that just shows how many lo-fi sad boys there is out there, including myself. The next notable jump in Joji's career was with the release Yeah Right. Yeah Right, yeah. This was Joji's first push into Billboard, with it charting at 23 on the R&B charts. He then made a staggering return to Billboard with his latest release, Ballads 1, which for me, I think this is definitely his best album. It's his most flushed out album anyway. I feel like in my head this is like the music he probably had in his head when he wanted to start making music. Songs like Slow Dancing in the Dark, for example, like that's a crazy song. Once again, the streams are crazy on this, and this is pretty much where the story is today. Joji's story is definitely a unique one to say the least. It seems like he always had a talent for knowing what people want and creating like a super particular niche, I suppose, and this contributes to his insane success. So this has been Joji. What do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you not? Comment some of your favorite work below. And yeah, this has been Joji. Thanks for watching. Till next time.